What's going on, everyone? So today we're diving into a pretty loaded topic. A lot of people are passionate about this, and well, we've got a bunch of new information in specific about these Carbonite Edition packs and what their makeup actually is. Their actual numbers, not necessarily the statistics on some of the special treatments, but in terms of what the packs will contain, we got a little bit more information. So I figured this is a good time to go to dive into this topic. I made a video about this, I want to say 2.5, 3 months ago, or not 2.5, 3 months, 1.5 to 2 months ago. And we spoke a lot about this and some of the goods, some of the bads, some of the things related to collecting and all that good stuff. I will say, as someone who generally plays a lot of these types of games, as well as games that are usually free to play with some sort of monetization model, as long as these are aesthetic upgrades or aesthetic differences and just that, they're usually pretty okay, because you're not really getting any gameplay advantage. You're not making the game actually more expensive. You're just making the collectability of certain arts more expensive, or in this case, just kind of making the one of cheaper, but the pack opening experience more expensive for people, which again, we'll dive into all of that. But these Carbonite Edition booster packs, not only have we gotten the makeup, which we'll talk about in just a moment, but they are going to be brand new with jump to light speed, as well as only have a limited amount dropping alongside those normal booster packs. So when these drop with jump to light speed, who knows how many they're going to be having. They just said they're limited, but only a certain amount of people will get them. And last time we talked about these, we made a lot of comparisons to collector boosters, and I still think that's the case, especially with the pack makeup, but they're also a little bit of a cross with Magic the Gathering secret layer drops. So collector boosters for Magic are like the premium packs that cost a lot more. They have these special arts, special treatments, and in general just have some sort of cool collector part to every single card in the pack. Secret layers are like unique drops, unique product lines that specific artists create and usually have only a few cards associated with them or are related to just like a specific product line, but they're very, very limited. So now these Carbonite boosters seem to follow a little bit of both. They have these specific prestige treatments, in this case, that they're calling them the Carbonite Edition exclusive prestige variants. And they're making the entire pack this collectible pack with foils, hyperspace, and all that good stuff. But they're also making a limited edition where you can only get a few, or maybe not that many if you're only buying it for yourself. Maybe they'll limit it for people, packs when you order them. But of course, before we talk about this more, we need to actually know what these makeup of the packs are, because previously they just said that they're going to be containing, special aesthetic treatment for each one of them. Well, this is what it looks like. So Carbonite booster packs contain 16 cards. So again, same as like a normal booster pack, including approximately one hyperspace / showcase leader. So that hyperspace leader is going to be guaranteed. And then in some cases, it'll be upgraded to showcase, which we all know about. If you've been following the game for a while. 6 premium foil cards, 1 foil rare / legendary, 1 prestige cards, that's the new Carbonite Edition prestige card, 4 hyperspace cards, 1 hyperspace rare / legendary card, and then 2 hyperspace foil cards. Now, it also says no specific card rarity is guaranteed to exist within an individual pack, box, or case, which is related to, hey, if you have your guaranteed 4 hyperspace cards or, you're guaranteed 2 hyperspace foil cards, there's no guarantee those hyperspace foils are going to be legendaries, rares, uncommons, or commons. That's part of the pack opening experience, right? There's a lot of variability, I should say, with each one of these packs, despite being these premium packs that will contain special treatments. So the idea behind this is, again, every single card, whether it's going to be common or legendary, is going to have a special art, right? It's going to be foil, it's going to be hyperspace, it's going to be prestige treatment. So they're all going to be a little bit more chase. And I will say the foil cards in this game don't really matter for the most part. It's really all about hyperspace foil, and then normal. So the few things with this in terms of market and a few things with this in terms of collectability. One thing really cool, these cards are most likely going to get a decent amount cheaper, specifically related to the hyperspace foils. Hyperspace foils are right now incredibly rare. if you've ever played a draft or, opened a bunch of packs, you'll note that it's very rare to get a hyperspace foil. I should say very rare. It's uncommon to get a hyperspace foil. And then even more so uncommon to get a hyperspace foil like uncommon. And then incredibly rare to get a hyperspace foil rare or legendary in your pack. And so even in some cases, like a Sundari Peacekeeper, which I checked the other day, back when I had it before I got rid of it, it was like sitting at $3 or $4 just for the hyperspace foil version. Whereas the normal card would have been like 10 cents, right? And that's the type of like difference between pricings that can happen with this. So one cool thing is if you enjoy that hyperspace foil treatment, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the cards get a lot cheaper, even though they're limited price or limited quantity of these carbonite packs, just because of the sheer amount of these like cards that are not extremely chase. Like again, there's going to be a lot of commons, but these cards that have these special treatments for non-expensive cards in general are probably going to drop a good amount. Whereas the cards that are extremely chased, like hyperspace foil Vaders, or for example, are still going to be a lot more expensive. Another thing to note about this is these prestige cards in terms of collectability, right? Hyperspace foil, cool. These are pretty sweet. They're one of my favorites. I like the foils. I know some people do, some people don't. If you don't like the foils, great. If you do, then the hyperspace foils are going to be a lot more expensive. But now we have this prestige card, and we don't really know what this prestige will, entail. Is it going to be like the showcase variant of each individual cards? Is every card type in the game going to have a prestige variant? If so, it's probably going to be incredibly expensive, especially the rares and legendaries, because there's no guarantee this prestige card is going to be some sort of common or uncommon or legendary. We don't know, right? As they said, the new Carbonite Edition exclusive prestige variants, that's all they said, and it's guaranteed to have one prestige card. And heck, I don't even know if maybe one of these cards can actually be upgraded into prestige, like maybe you can get two, but it doesn't look like you can. So who knows what these prestige variants are actually going to be. But despite that, it's going to add a whole new collectability aspect to the game. So one of the concerns that we talked about before is, hey, if you are a collector of the game, if you're someone that likes to, have these like special pieces of the game, well, now you have a new thing to strive for, which is prestige cards. This is going to add a whole new level because every single time these carbonite boosters are going to be limited. So these prestige cards are going to be not only incredibly rare in terms of just like quantity, but there's no even guarantee that there's going to be a lot of one specific type. I don't know how they're printing them. They're going to be completely random. Or if there is only going to be rares and legendaries of prestige types, or if there's also going to expand to commons and uncommons, which is pretty interesting. And one thing that they especially wanted to focus on was that there are going to be no unique cards exclusive to Carbonite Edition packs. This was something that a lot of people mentioned as one of their biggest critiques. Hey, if there's going to be exclusive cards, this is a horrible idea. And I would 100% agree with you. If you were ever going to have exclusive cards to Carbonite Edition packs, this would be horrible. To be honest, I already don't like the fact that they have, like, for example, Phase 3 Dark Trooper exclusive to the starter deck alongside the weekly play promos. That's something that makes the card just unnecessarily expensive for a very basic common card, right? Same thing goes like R2 and things like that. You just can't open any of these cards in the normal set, which is why I'm glad that they started in moving away from the starter decks and into these 2-player pre-built decks, which is another whole thing that we can dive into. But there's going to be no unique cards. So we're not going to see these like Incinerator Troopers or Phase 3 Dark Troopers or R2s or C3POs or things like that that are unique to weekly play promos be unique to the Carbonite Edition packs. And I hope that they stick to this because, again, if they were ever to print a unique card in the Carbonite Edition packs, not only would that have a especially expensive tag associated with it because it's already a Carbonite Edition pack and they're limited, but it's also just the only version of that playable card in existence. And again, these Carbonite Edition packs are limited. So I highly doubt they'll ever do this because just making a playable card within your game completely pay to win would be a horrible idea. It's happened in the past, okay? It's happened in the past with other card games, but I would be very doubtful that Star Wars Unlimited would do that. So that's always a good thing. So I think in general, in terms of a lot of the things that I saw a lot of people say in the past, a lot of people were actually half and half. Like there was a good portion of people like, is this really necessary? Like, do we really need to monetize the game to have this like exclusive art style, etc. And the other half was like, doesn't really matter because if I don't want it, I won't buy it. And it's just art. And based on what they're doing with all these things, still trying to maintain the collectability, making some of these other cards that a lot of people have grown fond of a little bit cheaper, while also, in most cases, making these packs each individually exciting to open, which is one of the big things. A lot of people are excited to open packs, and this might defeat the kind of excitement to open normal packs. Well, guess what? You can open showcases from this, and I would be very surprised if this pack did not have a higher chance to open showcases than a normal booster pack. Okay? Because that's one of the chase things about each pack, is that each pack can contain a showcase card. Now for normal packs, that's still the case. And for the Carbonite boosters, not only do you have that, but you also have the prestige card. So I think overall, this is just a really good thing for the game. And it's going to be a nice way for Star Wars Limited to generate like another line of revenue with a new product line. And I don't really say anything bad about this. There might be some sort of financial success and stuff like that related to the secondary market that maybe someone else can bring up. But in terms of just like overall value in the game, not like monetary value, but also like value in terms of like values, like morals and stuff, I think this is a perfectly reasonable thing to be doing if they're looking to make more money and then try to appeal to these collectors. Making it a limited edition is actually a really important thing, because it's not just endless buys all the time. They're making it like this exclusive collector's appeal type thing. Whereas the normal people that are just going to be paying attention to playing the game and buying these normal packs, well, maybe they might be able to buy one-ofs and things like that. People can't go over the top with investing into them because, well, they're limited edition. And if they limit it to each individual person or like each individual store, then that can also be an advantage, right? Because again, it appeals to that collector side of things. So to me, I like how they rolled them out, and I think they made a couple of smart decisions. Maybe I'm alone in this. I actually don't really know what the overall opinion on this is. I didn't really look into the overall kind of community opinion on Carbonite booster packs besides like just reading a few comments here. For this, I'm pretty excited for these. I think that the rate of the showcases in these will make them or break them. As a non-showcase one that purely buys cards, I'd be glad to see a much greater supplies of showcase cards that created the value. Things like that, like more accessible. Like it seems like everyone's kind of got their own little things that generally lean towards positive, but I guess we'll see. That is one important other thing to note is hyperspace foils will go down, so there's going to be a lot more of them, but also showcase cards may go down as well. I wouldn't think it would crater the value. Of course, it depends on the drop rate, but these are randomly showcase options, and it's, again, a limited pack. So to be honest, in terms of hyperspace foils, I do think the cards will go down because, again, a lot of them that are like randomly expensive are commons and uncommons that are just rare by nature of just being rare cards. And having this dense of a pack with all these hyperspace foils is going to reduce them. But showcases are still incredibly rare. And maybe they'll drop the price a little bit, but they're pretty chase. And I'll be surprised if it drops the price a lot. But again, if it does, I would find that to be a reasonably good thing, because again, you have the prestige cards, a whole new set of cards that are lining up to be collected. So I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you think I've got a bad take on this, or maybe you just love it and you're pretty happy about it like I am. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.